I don't know why my kids listen to that right away, but they don't listen to me. Is that you? That was a question that came up multiple times last week in my community in HIC Parenting. So I'm going to share with you why this is happening and how to break free from it so you feel visible, so you feel seen, so your children cooperate with you and you don't have to like call dad or threaten them to call dad to get them to listen to you. Hello, my name is Marcela Collier. I'm a certified parenting coach and founder of HIC Parenting Education Agency. My team of coaches and I have served 14,151 parents, break free from angry reactions, bring peace to their parenting, and raise emotionally secure children. If that's something that you would like to have in your parenting, this is the channel. Subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and let's start with this topic of how come my kids listen to that and they don't listen to me. So let's start with the beginning. I was talking to my mom, and then she was telling me the neighbor, that she has this little kid that he was playing outside. She lives in an apartment building. And then she said she kept calling her son to go to enter the house. She kept calling his name, and he didn't come in. He didn't even acknowledge her. He ignored her. And then after a little while, the dad stepped out of the house. He didn't say a word, but as soon as he stepped out of the house and gave him the look, he ran in the house. And then she said, why is this happening? Like, why do kids listen to dads more than they listen to moms? Why do they listen to dads and not to their moms? I'm like, it doesn't have to do anything to do with dads or moms. There is something here. And then I asked her a few questions. I said, question number one, when the dad came out and he gave him the look, how do you think the child was feeling? And then she said, well, I could tell he was terrified. He got so scared that he ran to the house scared. And that reminded me that it was kind of similar to when I grew up. As soon as my dad stepped out of the house, I felt so scared. I almost felt like I was about to get like, that it wasn't going to be good for me. And I ran to the house. I said, okay. So fear was the motivation. Fear is a great motivator. I'm not saying it's a good motivator, but fear would get any child to listen. So if the children fear the dad, it makes sense why they listen to him faster, easier, and they run. They ran for their life. Basically, that's what the child was doing, running for his life. But this is the thing. Conditioning kids to expect fear to relate to authority, then they're going to start connecting fear with authority. If there is no fear, then there is no authority. If there is no fear, then I don't have to listen. If there is no fear, then nothing will happen to me. And I could keep doing what I want to do. That's the pattern this child might possibly be. He is connecting authority with fear, and if there is no fear, there is no authority. Did that happen to you? That you felt that your mom did not have authority over you because condition you, or they made you believe in your nervous system, in your whole being, that in order to recognize fear, in order to recognize authority, you needed to feel fear. So the answer here is simple. Breaking the habit of the child expecting to feel fear to recognize authority. And this is a process that they're going to have to get on agreement, husband and wife. Because as long as the child keeps connecting fear with authority, he's going to keep not listening to the mom if he doesn't feel fearful of the mom. And this will end up backfiring on the dad because right now that he's 5, he might be really fearful of the dad. But what about when he's 17 and a lot stronger? Hmm. What about when he's 18 and a lot stronger? Then the roles might reverse and he might see both parents as weak and not listen to anyone. So that's the reason why this happened. How to break free from this pattern. Imagine that this child is used to, I listen because I recognize authority, even if there is no fear in it. That example, my twins. My twins don't fear my husband. My twins don't fear me. They don't have to feel fear to see us as authority. So when my husband goes out there and say, "Hey boys, it's time to enter," it carries the same weight as me going there and saying the same thing because they're not conditioned to fear authority. Now, the sticky point here is some parents don't know how to make their authority valid without fear. And if you're there, it's not your fault. If you grew up with fear and don't know how to make your authority valid without fear, it's not your fault because it was not modeled to you. Those are the parents that come to HIC parenting, to our parenting coaching, and they live great transformation because they learn a new way of exercising authority without fear. You can be firm and remain kind. You can be firm and you can discipline your kids without hurting them. Yesterday, it was time to enter. They were still playing basketball outside and say, "Santi, time to enter." Miguel entered right away, one of my twins, and my autistic one stayed there. And they said, but, and he gave me all his buts and cuss, but. I said, "Santiago, I understand all your reasons, and it is time to enter. So you either enter right now, or the time that you're out here, we are going to subtract that time from tomorrow's outside time. It's your choice." And I said it with this voice, firm, without yelling, remaining kind. And even if he would have, like, he entered like a minute later, even if he would have chosen his consequence, this is not a consequence that would have hurt him, but he would have learned for sure. So how do I stop being invisible and getting my and how do I decondition my kids from listening to that but not listening to me? It is about breaking the pattern of them expecting authority when there is fear. And both of you guys need to get on agreement on that because as long as there is imbalance of power in both authority figures, is not going to happen. We help parents all the time here in HIC Parenting getting on board. And if you're like, okay, but I need a step by step, I need a roadmap, Marcela, help me. You are in a good place. I want to show you our 4-step system to break free from angry reactions, bring peace to your parenting, and start raising secure children. This 4-step system is in my free class that you can access right now in hicparenting.com, hicparenting.com, or you can see it here in the description of this video or up here. We're going to place a card up here. And you can access it right now so you can start feeling more at peace, knowing how to be the authority without fear, and start breaking the habit of kids listening only when there is fear present. I have a question for you. Did you relate to any of this? To the story, my mom's story? Did you relate to any of this? If that's the case, I have a question for you. Would your husband or wife be willing to work towards exercising authority without fear? Let me know in the comments. Yes, no. Why do you think it's a yes? Why do you think it's a no? Let's support one another. And I want to ask you if this video helped you in some way understanding why your children don't listen to you and they listen to dad, what to do to feel great in your parenting and how to break this pattern. Will you share it with a friend? Just send it to one friend and let them know, hey, I know this could help you too. And I want to let you know that it only takes understanding of yourself and of your children's needs to transform your parenting.